And we are back. Happy Monday, the third day of July, 2023. I'm Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Hope you had a good weekend. Things will be kind of quiet around the broadcast Metroplex today. A lot of content producers are taking the day off, and then we all get tomorrow off. In fact, the regular producer of this program, Mr. Uriah, is also taking the day off. So Malcolm is pushing the buttons today. We'll get through it. The tradition still applies here. You know, Mondays on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're here. We work. We don't work real hard. Didn't even bother to shave this morning. You'll probably notice that when we come back on the air on Wednesday. I will be clean shaven, I assume. Razor blades are pretty expensive nowadays. 61 degrees here in the big city. Warm and dry, warm and dry, warm and dry. However, got a red flag warning for today. I don't like those. Gusty winds, low relative humidity, warm temperatures. That's the recipe. You know that by now. We'll get to your forecast details in just a little bit, but it's going to be typical early July weather. Plus, we'll have the news. Sports, Mariners actually took 2 of 3 from the team with the best record in the American League, Tampa Bay, in a very strange way to win a game yesterday. You don't see game-winning runs scored in the way that it was scored yesterday at T-Mobile Park. We'll have highlights of that. And guess who has the best record in all of the West Coast League? All 16 teams, the Wenatchee Apple Sox. They moved into first place over the weekend. They did what they had to do up in Edmonton. They won 2 of 3. In the meantime, the team they were chasing, Bellingham, lost all 3 of their games to Victoria. So we are in first place with 3 league games to go in the first half of the regular season. And we will be hearing from Storman, Joel Norman, in the back half of the program when we get to sports, or the front half, I should say. In the back half, because we're on the very cusp of the Let's Have a Blast Wenatchee 4th of July celebration at Walla Walla Point Park. We're going to redo the interviews I did with Malachi Salcido, whose company, the Salcido Group, is the title sponsor. So we had a chance to visit with Malachi and Kylie Boggs, who is in charge of blowing up stuff tomorrow night, a little after 10 o'clock at Walla Walla Point Park. She is the head pyrotechnic, and we'll have those 2 interviews in the back half of the program, and we begin our tour, courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi cameras all over those towers, all over the place. Our Wenatchee Heights camera looks pretty zoomed out to me. That's about as far back as it can go. You see a little bit of greenery there on that slope on Wenatchee Heights that faces to the east. And that's about it. We're pretty much baked out now. Not a lot of greenery left after oh, and there's the roundabout. Yes, the roundabout is open. I'm assuming that's the Cougar Ridge camera. That's probably the one that gives us the best shot of the roundabout, but the roundabout is open. Our first 2-lane roundabout. It's not going to be too hard to figure it out, but at least that's pretty much all but done with. They still have some nighttime work to do. They still have some striping to do and a few other odds and ends, but the roundabout opened over the weekend. We'll have that for you in news. Bill E. Goat USA. Now you see the little haze up there and a few high clouds. We'll get to that in just a little bit, but that high pressure ridge that we're under the influence of, the center of it is up above Vancouver Island, and of course it's a high pressure ridge. It spins around clockwise, and it's going to be grabbing some of the smoke from the fires in British Columbia and in Alberta, and it's going to send us down this way. So we're going to start seeing some hazy conditions, especially by this time tomorrow. And it's up to Rude Canyon, the very top of Rude Canyon, as we look out over the plateau in beautiful Douglas County. Some great views there. Again, all of it courtesy of the Sky-Fi division. Red flag warning. We don't like them, but there they are, and here it is. It starts at 11 o'clock this morning, goes until 11 o'clock tonight, or 10 this morning, I should say, till 11 o'clock tonight. Everybody in the pink area, be on the lookout. Now, the strongest winds are going to be out in the Moses Lake area and in the Omak area. We are going to see some wind today, but really not that much. The big story is going to be the warm temperatures. It's going to be much windier and gustier out in the Columbia Basin and up in the Omak area than it's going to be here in the Wenatchee Valley. So gusty north winds, very low relative humidity. Any new fires that start could take off big time. Of course, when you factor in people shooting off fireworks, even if they're not supposed to, these things can happen. So a red flag warning is up for most of the day today from the National Weather Service. That way, if you don't like the weather, you can blame the government. Sunshine today, warm, nice light breeze, high of about 88. Now we're going to start seeing some haze really on Independence Day tomorrow. Again, some of that smoke is going to be filtered down via the prevailing winds blowing from the north to the south. going to grab some of that smoke in the fires that are still burning in central British Columbia and central Alberta, and it's going to shove that smoke down our way. So look for some hazy conditions possible on Tuesday. Temperatures right where they should be. Our normal high this time of the year, by the way, is 84 degrees. We hit 85 on Sunday. And so we're going to be dealing with hit and miss haze a little bit today, a little bit tonight, a little bit on Tuesday. It'll probably start clearing out on Tuesday night. And then we just stay sunny and hot. It is July after all, and there's nothing surprising about this forecast. 93 to 99, near 100 on Thursday and Friday, and a little bit cooler, but not much. Is there really a difference between 96 and 99? I think not. And your overnight lows, well above normal as well. It's going to be warm. 6 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a break, and then we'll have your headlines on this Monday. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
It's Click It RV's lowest price guarantee sale going on now at your neighborhood Click It RV.
Be a winner like me and get to Click It RV.
With 0 down and no payments till September, now is the time to own your dream RV.
Get to Click It RV now. Are you going to be mad, bro?
Get never before deep discounts on trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and motorhomes. Plus the best selection, highest trade-in values ever, and a lifetime warranty. Nobody beats the discounts at Click It RV.
I'm Richard Sherman, and we guarantee it.
On Frontage Road.
I had a seizure in the middle of the night, and they rushed me to the hospital and decided to induce labor to try to get the baby out. The outpouring of love and support I got from Confluence Health. My coworkers coming to the ICU to be with me. For me, it's the work family. It's just incredible to have support no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, my own health.
The leadership of the city of Wenatchee is up for grabs, and a few other cities around north central Washington as well. NCW Life has you covered with interviews and profiles of the primary candidates running for mayor. Find out about the people and issues that could influence your city over the next 4 years and beyond. You can find those interviews right here each day this week, 8:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, 5:30 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, as well as on our website, ncwlife.com. The NCW Life channel, helping you choose your future.
Few high clouds out there, 61 degrees in the big city, upper 80s today with some haze coming in from our friends in Canada. Going to hang around for a day and a half or so. Sunny and hot for the rest of the week, and a pretty good looking Independence Day coming up tomorrow as well. It's 9 minutes after the hour. As we showed you at the top of the hour, the roundabout on Easy Street is open. It opened over the weekend, as a matter of fact, and that means that detour will be removed and the northbound Highway 285 ramp will also reopen. Work will continue, by the way. They're going to be doing some intermittent lane closures. They still got some work to do, like permanent striping, for instance. That's going to happen later on this month, and that will require a couple of overnight closures. But in the meantime, that long-awaited roundabout is open. They started construction on that back on April 3rd. Leavenworth Mayor Carl Floria has been elected to the Association of Washington Cities Board of Directors. The board is made up of 23 directors who are mayors or city council members from Washington cities and towns, and 2 non-elected city officials. Floria will represent District 3, that includes Chelan, Douglas, Grant, and Okanagan counties. Floria has served as mayor of Leavenworth since 2020. He is currently up for re-election, and he faces challenges from Rich Brinkman and Becky Sabuto. The U.S. Department of Justice has announced the creation of a missing or murdered Indigenous persons regional outreach program, which will bring dedicated personnel to Eastern Washington. Last month, Senator Maria Cantwell called on President Biden to provide additional resources to address the growing crisis. And in a letter sent to the president, Cantwell asked him to prioritize federal funding to assist the tribes and organizations that work Native Americans and Alaska Natives in Washington state. The program will place 5 assistant U.S. attorneys and 5 MMIP coordinators to help resolve missing and murdered Indigenous women and people cases throughout the country. Cantwell also worked to increase safety in tribal communities. In 2020, he got Savannah's Act signed into law that helps federal, state, and tribal enforcement agencies better respond to those cases. The Community for the Advancement of Family Education, and we know the acronym probably as you do as CAFE, well, they have a lot of different programs, and one of them is Jefes Unidos, which helps empower Latino businesses and business owners. On Tuesday, the group gathered at the Hilton Garden Inn in Wenatchee, and they were joined by governmental organizations like the Washington State Department of Business Services and the Small Business Development Center. NCW Life spoke with CAFE Communications Coordinator Jasmine Sanchez to learn more about the event and the program.
The goals that CAFE has as this program is to reach more people. There's a lot of business owners here in the community who maybe have a lot of questions, but they don't know where to guide themselves and they don't know who to contact. And our goal is to have all of the Latino businesses in the community be a part of this wonderful program so that they can, receive help, get more information, and really have a professional business with all the proper titles, any permissions that they need. This event is actually a little bit different. It's a lot bigger than our usual events. Usually we are at Host, which is a location here in Wenatchee, and today we are here in this beautiful hotel because we have different state agencies, obviously from the state of Washington, providing information and who traveled in from Olympia and Tacoma today so that they can be here today with us. So it is just a larger event than usual. CAFE decided to add a program like Jefes Unidos to the organization because we really saw the need in our community. We saw that there was a lot of Latinos starting their own business or maybe wanting to start their own business, or they already have one but they don't have enough information and resources, and we really wanted to be that support for them, and also we wanted to motivate others and help them get started with a business if that's what there's something that they're looking for. We always nominate one business of the month, and the winner is always a business that we really see connecting with the community, providing services or goods that are really making a big difference, and we always try to give them the best marketing help. We do have a photographer who is wonderful here in our organization, and we provide them with assistance in making a promo video, a marketing video, so that they can introduce themselves. Maybe the community can get to know the product or services that they sell, and they're more than welcome to use it. So that's something that we're really pushing for to help everybody market their business better. Our goal is really just to help spread the word about what they're doing and help them grow their business, right? And just be that support and maybe that example and let other Latinos know in their community that if they want to start a business, it can be possible.
And finally, a friendly reminder on this Independence Day Eve that the personal use of fireworks in our area, pretty much everywhere, you can't do it. It doesn't really matter where you live, with a couple of exceptions. All of Chelan County, no fireworks. That's unincorporated Chelan County and the cities of Wenatchee, Chelan, Aniat, Leavenworth, and Cashmere. The same holds true for all of Douglas County, with the exception of Rock Island. Fireworks are legal in Rock Island tomorrow only, and in Bridgeport, where fireworks can be discharged from 1 o'clock in the afternoon until midnight, both today and tomorrow. Of course, there'll be professional fireworks displays tonight after the Apple Sox game, tomorrow at Walla Walla Point Park in Wenatchee, and of course up in Manson as well. And that's what's making news at 14 minutes after the hour. A special newscast for you tonight. Not going to spoil it for you. Just check it out at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on television. If that doesn't work for your schedule, we always have our newscasts up and running on our Facebook page, on our homepage, and on our YouTube page. So you can consume the news via the World Wide Web. And I'm on record, this whole internet thing, going to be big, going to be huge. And if you have access to the internet, you can get a hold of us. For a news tip, you can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com. You can go to our Facebook page, drop us a line via the Messenger app, or go to our homepage and click on the Contact Us icon. When we come back, Mariners win, Apple Sox win. We'd like both of those things. Sports is coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino has the best Vegas-style games in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy yourself and discover the nightly action. Win big and meet new friends at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino.
Hi everybody, Dan Kuntz alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. My heat pump there's like steam coming out of it. It's making weird noises. Is this something I need to be concerned about?
No, Dan, that's normal operation. Refrigeration technology steals heat from the outside, transfers it to the inside, and it creates frost on your heat pump. The defrost cycle melts that off, which creates steam and a little bit of noise.
That makes sense. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
Well, looks like our surgery patient is feeling better today.
Yep, I didn't need any oxy today. I thought I'd do a little surgery on the drain.
Huh. Do you need your pain pills anymore?
Nah.
Well, we should get them out of the house. There are places to drop them off.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I can do that right now.
And I will look at the drain.
Prevent opioid misuse. Find safe medication return options near you at med-project.org.
18 minutes after the hour, Jose Caballero got hit by a pitch thrown by Jason Adam. That forced in the tie-breaking run, and the Mariners erased an early 5-run deficit. And they beat Tampa Bay yesterday. The final was 7-6. Eugenio Suarez and Tom Murphy homered for the Mariners. Mariners take 2 of 3 for the team with the best record of the American League. All-star pitcher Luis Castillo recovered from a rough start, but he got in 6 innings of work.
Most teams do not take batting practice on Sundays for the day games. Randy asked for it in preparation for Home Run Derby.
There's a high shot deep to left, way back down the line, and that baby is gone.
And that'll bring up third baseman Isaac Paredes.
Shot back into left. That's got some carry to it, and that ball is going to get out of here. Home run for Paredes. That's number 14, and he took that one down the left field line. Rosarena hit one out in the first, a similar shot, just fair by about 10 feet.
Last night, that's well tagged, deep left center field, big time carry, getting up and gone. Gino with a home run. Mariners on the board, his 9th home run of the season. Good to see that. Hey, Eugenio Suarez. Raley struck out on 3 pitches to end the first inning. Double play ball, big time.
Well, here's Luke Raley shooting one into right field. Over to make the pickup toward the corner. Hernandez. Lowe will score. Rosarena's going to head to the plate. And the Rays plate 2 more runs. It's a 3-run inning.
See what he does with it.
This one well tagged, left field. Rosarena can't get it. Julio. The 1-out double. That thing was screaming, trying to get the fellas going here. Down the line, he'll score easily here. Double into the corner. Ty France. That'll get the juices flowing. RBI double, Ty France. 6-2 ball game. Outfielder and catchers, ground ball. Oh, no. Oh, no. And both guys are hurt. Paredes and Ty France, and both guys were going at 100%. Oh, no. That looked like a couple of guys colliding on a kickoff across the street at Lumen Field.
They're going to take Paredes off.
Yeah, Taylor Walls will come in.
Well, another bit of a delay here for Taj Bradley in an inning where he had already lost a little bit of field. So this is a good break for the Mariners. Let's see if they can take advantage.
J.K. going the other way. That gets down. 6-3, Tampa Bay. Chance for Mike Ford. 2 on. Mariners responding here in the 3rd inning. To center field. That gets down. Scoring his tail. Right behind him. Kelnick. We got a 1-run ball game. Tom Murphy will walk and a base hit to right. Murph, high drive. Left field. Rosarena. Give it up. We got a tie ball game. Tom Murphy with a big blast. New ball game here in the 6th. As we told you, came in hot. He was 4 for 5 in his homestand. And man, you know that feels good. 3-1 line drive, right center field. Teo, he's there. Can he get the throw back in time? Yes, sir! That's the double play! Hey now!
And a double play ends the inning. With that pitch, that's ball 4. And the bases are going to be loaded. Couple walks, a hit batter.
Takes his walk and leaves it up to Jose Caballero with a chance to give the Mariners a lead.
Bolly got hit, and the Mariners take the lead. Teo trots home 7-6 Mariners. Pick up an RBI. Holy moly.
Are we seeing the revival of chaos ball?
JP for some cushion here.
And strike 3 call. So he strikes out Crawford looking. Now the deciding run at this point. Scored without the benefit of a hit. Paul Sewald comes on. The Rays will have Manuel Margot to lead off against him down to their final 3 outs.
Got him. Good start, Paul Sewald. 1-2 pitch. And he strikes him out.
Mariners now 1 out away from their 40th win of the year.
Fly ball deep right field. Teo's got it measured. Yes, sir! Mariners 7-6 win over the Rays. And
By the way, Castillo, the only Mariner to make the All-Star team. Of course, the game is 1 week from tomorrow at T-Mobile Park in Seattle. By the way, the Mariners start a 6-game road trip before the All-Star break, 3 in San Francisco and 3 in Houston. By taking 2 of 3 from the Edmonton Riverhawks over the weekend, the Apple Sox now find themselves in first place in the WCL's Northern Division. There are 3 games left to play in the first half. With the details, our good buddy Stormin Joel Norman.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox moved into sole possession of first place in the North Division by taking 2 of 3 games against the Edmonton Riverhawks this weekend at Remax Field. Now, Wenatchee entered the weekend just barely up their tie with the Bellingham Bells, but Bellingham would drop all 3 games against the Victoria Harbor Cats, and now the Apple Sox are a full game ahead of Bellingham for first place. The Apple Sox opened up the weekend with a big win on Friday. Ryan Martinez was the star of that game, going 6 1/3 and only allowing 2 runs to earn his 2nd victory of the summer. On Saturday, just under 7,000 fans were in attendance for Canada Day, and the home team cruised to an 11-2 blowout victory, but Wenatchee bounced right back, earning a 12-4 victory on Sunday. That victory was led by scoring 8 runs in the 3rd inning, and Nick Putnam led the way for the Sox as he drove in 4 runs, including with a bases-clearing double in the 3rd inning. Jaden Williamson tossed the final 5 innings, only allowed 2 unearned runs after Samuel Round went the first 4 innings and allowed 2 runs in that time. Wenatchee is home for a non-league game on Monday night, but it's a significant one as it's fireworks night presented by Kennedy Real Estate Group as the Sox take on the Dub Sea Fish Sticks at 7:05 p.m. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you, Joel. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Monday. Now, I could have chosen for the obscure holiday Air Conditioning Appreciation Day. Oh, I can understand that. If you live in the Cayman Islands, by the way, it's your Constitution Day. I got a lot of viewers who live in the Cayman Islands. I wanted to point that out. Today is National Chocolate Wafer Day. It's National Fried Clam Day. It's National Compliment Your Mirror Day. But no. Beans, the wonderful fruit. The more you eat, the more you, yes, it's National Eat Your Beans Day. Today, beans, of course, are really good for you. It's this big source of amino acids, proteins, complex carbohydrates, fiber, iron, folate. Love a big bowl of folate. And we've been eating beans. Beans predate agriculture. They figure human beings have been consuming beans for about 10,000 years back in Thailand. That's pretty important. And of course, beans played a significant role in history when colonists went over the ocean and decided to settle here in good old North America, the Native Americans, before we decided to throw them off their native land, taught the newcomers how to grow beans. And they were glad that they did. So beans, you got to love them. By the way, what state produces the most amount of beans in this country? When you think about it, it's pretty obvious. 30% of all the beans in the United States, grown in the United States, are grown in North Dakota. There you go. Beans, beans, the wonderful fruit. The more you eat, it's 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history, even George Washington has his bad days, and he had a bad day back on this date in 1754. 269 years ago, during the French and Indian War, George Washington surrenders Fort Necessity to the French forces. It was George Washington's only military surrender. So he didn't go undefeated, but he learned his lesson, and the leaders of the revolution forgave George because exactly 21 years after he surrendered Fort Necessity, they gave him the big gig. July 3rd, 1775, George Washington formally takes command of the Continental Army at Cambridge, Massachusetts. That's a very rare photo of George showing up there. They offered him the job, and he took the job about a week earlier, but you know, it takes a while to get up there from Virginia to Massachusetts, but he did it. George Washington formally takes command of the Continental Army on this date in 1775. Spoiler alert, we win. This is the 160th anniversary of the third and final day of Gettysburg. The Battle of Gettysburg ended by a tragedy, Pickett's charge, when Confederate troops made a full frontal assault right on the center of the Union lines. They were repulsed, heavy casualties on both sides. They shouldn't have done it. It pretty much that was as far north as the Confederacy ever got. And they never quite recovered from that. And of course, on that very same day, 24 hours later, the siege of Vicksburg came to an end. And so the two significant turning points of the war happened almost within 24 hours of each other. Pickett's ill-fated charge to end the Battle of Gettysburg. And of course, the Confederate Army didn't have people they could replace. The Union Army did. The Confederacy did not. How many soldiers were casualties? On both sides, about 50,000. A lot. Pickett's charge, 160 years ago today. Happy birthday, Idaho! Idaho joined the Union July 3rd, 1890. That makes Idaho 133 years old today. It is known as the Gem State. There's the Idaho state flag. And just like most of the state flags, they just take their seal and stick it on a piece of cloth and call it good. 1/3 of all the nation's potatoes are grown. We'll get to that in just a little bit. I have some fun facts about Idaho. 1/3 of all the potatoes grown in this country are grown in Idaho. Thanks to Mr. J.R. Simplot, you probably know that name. He was the idea who stumbled across the idea of dehydrating potatoes. He came up with that idea in 1941. He used a prune machine, but it worked on potatoes too. Made J.R. Simplot a multi-millionaire, and it made French fries everywhere as well, thanks to that. Idaho also supplies the majority of the nation's trout. Probably didn't know that. Hell's Canyon in western Idaho is the deepest river gorge in North America at 7,993 feet, almost 8,000 feet deep. By comparison, the Grand Canyon is only about 6,000 feet deep. The Republican Party has been the majority party in both houses of the state legislature in Idaho for the last 63 consecutive years, but between 1971 and 1995, in that 24-year period, the governor of Idaho was a Democrat. Go figure. Latah County, created in 1888, is the only county in this nation's history that was created by an act of Congress. The folks in that county wanted to be annexed into Washington State. It's where Moscow is. And they said, we're better off in the Palouse. We are in the Palouse. And Congress had to step in and say, no, you're going to stick around in Idaho. Adam West, when he was alive, Adam West, Batman, he spent his summers at his cabin in Ketchum, Idaho. His name was in the phone book under the name Bruce Wayne. That's pretty cool. And the state song of Idaho is Here We Have Idaho. Now let's move on to one of the funnest box scores you will ever see. Throw that up, Malcolm. Look at the Tampa Bay Rays lineup on this date in 1995 against the Tigers. Now, if you score a baseball game, you know each defensive position has a number. Pitcher is 1, catcher is 2, first baseman 3, second baseman 4, on down the line. So look at the starting lineup for the Rays. The batting order is on the left. The positions are on the right. So the positions, as you go down, is 8, 6, 7, 5, 3, 0, 9. Baseball, what do you do? I don't know if Joe Madden even knew what the song was. Bottom of the hour, happy 61st birthday, Tom Cruise. That guy's box office gold, isn't he? Has he been doing anything besides the Mission Impossible stuff lately? I don't know. Of course, Top Gun Maverick. Tom Cruise, 61 years old today, and the voice of Lisa Simpson on The Simpsons. Yeardley Smith, 59 years old today. She auditioned for Bart, and they gave her the role of Lisa, and it worked out good for everybody. All right, 31 minutes after the hour, an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNulty, and then 2 interviews as we get ready for the Let's Have a Blast celebration. Malachi Salcido and Cotty Boggs. Coming up, you're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Water is essential to living. From clean drinking water for good health to clean water for your pool or spa. Central Washington Water, your water experts. With whole home water filtration systems for your home's best water. Products and supplies to keep your pool and spa water crystal clear. To a full parts department. Count on Central Washington Water for expert help. Shop screen to screen. Come in or call about a backyard consultation. Central Washington Water, your water care professionals.
D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee provides financial services for independent-minded clients working to secure their futures. Whether it's helping construct your personal financial, retirement, or estate plan, they start with a disciplined approach and straightforward advice. An individualized approach is rooted in the values, stability, and strength their company was founded on in 1935. With offices coast to coast and personal attention you deserve right here in the Wenatchee Valley, learn more about D.A. Davidson. Swung on a fly ball. Wenatchee Apple Sox baseball is back on the NCW Life channel. Join us Monday, July 17th as the Apple Sox host the Bend Elks. Coverage is brought to you by Apple Valley Honda, Confluence Health, JDSA Law, Mary Maids, Many Blinds and more, Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista, Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and Walkabout Grill. Your television home for Apple Sox baseball is the NCW Life channel.
Mad Dog McNulty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I recently posted a picture on Facebook, a Throwback Thursday pic of my son and Tony and I in Mexico some years ago. In the pic, Tony and I are having a beer, and I'm holding a cigar. A friend posted, "Nice picture, except for the nasty cigar." Well, I beg to differ. Sure, cigar smoking could be considered a questionable activity, but the hours of relaxation cigars have given me and the opportunity smoking one has provided for me to just spend a quiet hour reading a good book has been worth any nastiness some might attribute to the cigar. At least that's in my opinion. Now, the Bible says all things in moderation, and the peace and relaxation a cigar brings is a pleasant life interlude. Of course, Rosie says 3 times a week is not moderation, but I beg to differ. This is Mike Mad Dog McNulty, and everyone's entitled to my opinion.
I have no idea what I'm doing. That's why we need you. We need people to run cameras so I can get back down on the broadcast and talk about what's going on. We pay $75 per event. If it's sports, if it's a parade, if it's Apple Blossom, if it's a Super Oval, $75. If that sounds like some extra good money for you, we'd love you to be part of our team. All you have to do is email me, sports@ncwlife.com. sports@ncwlife.com. In the meantime, I gotta go figure out this camera.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Every year we celebrate America's birthday. By the way, Independence Day this year falls on July 4th. What a great coincidence that is. And the title sponsor for the Let's Have a Blast 4th of July, Wenatchee Valley 4th of July get together once again for how many years in a row, Malachi, have you been the main sponsor?
It's a good question, like 6 or 7?
6 or 7, yeah. It's our friend Malachi Salcedo from the Salcedo Group. New umbrella for all of your business endeavors under one big umbrella. Probably makes things easier for you.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have the HVAC unit. That's I mean, I got to know Malachi because of his HVAC people, because they were the ones who did our buildings. Because our HVAC has to work, and your pros came out and took care of that. And then you got into the cryptocurrency and the Bitcoin mining, and then real estate transactions. So you're a busy guy.
We are. We expanded HVAC into its full contracting development work. So we specialized in any kind of critical space where we say if someone can die or a whole bunch of product gets lost, that's the kind of work we want to design and build. So we actually general contract, we do multi-discipline contracting, we specialize in critical spaces, and we're also into real estate now, so it just made more sense to just bring it all under one umbrella.
During the incredibly oppressive heat wave from a couple of years ago at a store that I shop at all the time, in the middle of the night when the temperature got down to 95 as the overnight low. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Their dairy case just died. It just died. And I came the next day, and it was you guys on the roof fixing it. And I talked to the owner of the store, and he said, of course I'm calling these guys, because they're going to be able to fix it.
Yeah, that was a crazy year. In fact, the fireworks went on, but the public gathering, remember that? That didn't happen. That was such a bummer, which is a great point. I mean, if someone's considering coming out this year, you have the option to come out this year. It's not COVID. It's not going to be 120 degrees outside. You actually get to come down and enjoy a beautiful evening, come down early, eat food, check out the vendors, bring your family. It's going to be a great celebration.
A lot of companies can just write a check and put their name on it and call it good. That's not your style, is it? It's more than that with the Salcedo Group when it comes to helping out nonprofits and organizations and events.
Yes, absolutely. I tell you this every year. We believe if you're blessed, you're supposed to return the favor. And we strive to put back into the community what has been given to us first. This community has made my family and our business what it is. And so we will not forget that, and we will continue to watch for opportunities like the 4th of July celebration to sponsor and say thank you to our community.
Speaking of the family, how's the Queen doing?
The Queen, she's an old 19-year-old now. So yeah.
Is this still her gap year? She was going to take a gap year, I remember.
She ended up going to college, so she had to choose between, is she going to go on a mission trip or go to college? She decided to go to college. She's ended up really in ministry anyway, started doing ministry on campus at Grand Canyon University. So she's back for the summer, and we're enjoying having her around, and she's a willing participant in all of our community events.
And of course, becoming an Apple Blossom royalty, in fact, the Queen itself, she told me that brought me an entirely new skill set that I didn't even know I had. She's an outgoing, gregarious young woman with a great future in front of her, but that took her to the next level, she always told me.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Ryan was a very well put together young lady before Apple Blossom Royalty. What Apple Blossom Royalty did for her is it just, like you said, just took her up and put a whole bunch of investment and experience, right, and reps into her. And she's just, a very well put together young lady before, and extremely well put together young lady now. And she continues to represent both her family and the community very well.
I'm getting a little bit of a pride here, a little pride papa thing going on here, my friend. As we tape this, this is taped a number of days in advance. Today is actually National HVAC Technician Day, and it's true. That's actually what it is. And we were talking about this before the camera is rolling. In your line of work, you always need HVAC technicians and certified electricians. That's a constant need. It is always there for you guys.
Absolutely. Right? Like I mentioned earlier, we never stop advertising for journey level electricians and journey level HVAC and mechanic technicians. If a young person out there is considering what to go into for a career, you need to look at the skilled trades. Skilled trades. My journey level employees here in Central Washington make anywhere from $100,000 to $140,000 a year. They have full benefits, vacation, sick, retirement programs. They're very well taken care of, and we're grateful to have them. That is a career that if you haven't looked into it, you really should.
Yep, it's your job is not going anywhere. You don't really have to worry about job insecurity. That's not going to be the case.
Yeah, no, you can't outsource the mechanic to India. It's just never going to happen. Somebody physically has to show up to your house or to your business and fix or build your mechanical and electrical systems.
Every home, almost every home in North Central Washington has a central air heating. It has a central HVAC unit, heat in the winter, air conditioning in the summer. Every business has that, and now server farms. That's been huge as well.
Yes, absolutely. It's huge and growing. So the last 15 plus years, this has become one of the, people may not even realize it, it's one of the premier regions for data space in the world.
Cheap electricity and fast fiber internet. That's
cheap electricity, fast fiber internet. We're not on a fault line. We're not a high-value terrorist target. We're agricultural, semi-rural community that has lots of hardworking people that know how to show up on time.
And public utility districts, not privately owned electrical grids.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's all huge, isn't it?
Yeah. PUDs are one of the primary backbones of the benefit that we realize in this region.
What's the plan for the Salcedo group this summer? What do you got going on? For somebody who literally lives out of his truck, what do you guys got going on?
We're into all kinds of things, expanding our data footprint. We are engaged in a lot of different design build contracts. If you're familiar with this region, you just have to drive around a little bit, and there is building and construction and development going on everywhere. Lots of construction cones, as we like to say.
But the valley is contained. There's only so much room to grow. I mean, when does the bubble burst as far as that's concerned? We're out of real estate, Malachi, sorry.
That's a good question. I think one of my daughters and I were just talking about this a couple days ago. The amount of flat land here limits how much growth we will see, and that's okay. It limits the pace of growth. We don't have enough flat expanse to just explode. Good steady growth over a long period of time I think will be better for our region, but as you can tell, the land continues to be found to expand and develop.
And you're not going anywhere?
Not going anywhere, nope. We are here. We're here for the long term, been in business 23 years, and just excited to continue to be part of the greater Wenatchee Valley.
Malachi Salcedo, CEO of the Salcedo Group. I got to get used to that.
Yeah.
I will. I'll get used to that. And the only guy who ever explained to me how Bitcoin money works and did it so he dumbed it down enough so I can figure it out. And that in and of itself is remarkable. It's good to see you, my friend.
It's good to be here.
I'll let you get back to work. I know you're a busy guy.
Thank you.
You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
I'm Jenny Rojanostatian, host of Network TV, and I'm looking for you, our next guest, to come on air live at the NCW Life Studios. We would love to feature your business, organization, or nonprofit and share about the work or innovation happening inside of your organization. It's super easy to come on air. You just need to send us an email. info@ncwtech.org. That's info@ncwtech.org.
It's a tradition as old as the country itself. We all gather together on Independence Day, 4th of July, and we celebrate America's birthday by blowing up a small portion of it. Of course, fireworks are now completely illegal almost within our entire viewing area, which is why we leave it to the professional, like the lovely Ms. Boggs here. Introduce yourself again to our TV family.
Hello, I am Kylie Boggs. I am the head pyrotechnician on the 4th of July Independence Day fireworks show, as well as various other shows in our valley.
So, first questions first. July 4th, about 10 minutes after 10. Mm-hmm. What are we going to see? Give me anything new, anything, what do we got?
Well, we are back on the island this year, a little different, little shift from last year. We were able to repair it. The PUD was very nice and went out and fixed it for us. And we will be performing with the big band again this year. So you can look forward to that. I haven't got the music for it yet, so we'll all be surprised.
There will be the big finale. There always is. It's spectacular. Is there a lot of coordination and choreography between the live music that's going to be played here at the park and what you're doing? How does that work?
Yeah, so one of the benefits of our show, the way we shoot, is live with the music. So what we'll do is go through the scores that the musicians give us and say like, oh, I really want this effect here. I really, we have a giant cymbal crash or a giant like drum lead up to something, like let's put something cool there. So it's kind of plug and play as far as what we do.
But you also have to time out the fact that you're shooting off the fireworks from the spit, and it takes an X amount of time to get up to the elevation it needs to be, and then it explodes. That's all got to be factored in there, right?
Yes, yeah. So it is all done by a person. It is not done on a computer. So we actually I will have the scripts, and we'll actually be timing out, and I've got a lot of musicians in my group, so we just count the music and keep going.
Is there a general rule of thumb on latency from the time you light the fuse until the time it explodes up in the sky 300 or 400 feet in the air? Is every firework different?
So it depends on the size of the firework. So we shoot anything from a 1/2 inch to a 6 inch here. And it's a very complicated equation to figure it out your first couple times, and then afterwards you just kind of feel it. So
how much time do you put? I mean, this is probably the biggest one you do, right? You do Apple Sox games, you do other events, you do fairs and things like that, and other activities with your pyrotechnic show. How many man hours goes into putting all of this together between you and your staff and your volunteers going out on the spit lane? How many hours you put in?
Well, we're going to start on Wednesday, and then we normally do morning and evening groups, just so we allow my crew to get out of the sun for the hottest part of the day. A couple of us have already had heat strokes, so we don't need to do that again. But yeah, usually we do 5 or 6 days for a build, so it's comfortable for my crew, and also we know we have enough.
It's a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time, and it's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go through all of that stuff, and then it's all over in 25 minutes. It's like you plan and you plan and you plan and you work, and then before you know it, it kind of sounds like my honeymoon, kind of think of it. Do you actually get to do the show? I mean, you're working.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that like to put off this incredible show of fireworks above the Columbia River and you don't get to watch it?
I mean, we kind of do from the best seat in the house because we're directly under it. So I have about 6 people that are out on the island with me during the event, and they're on fire watch, or they're making sure that everything is going correctly. We don't have any issues. We don't have people trying to come onto the island. It's a big one. The rafters always try and get the best seat in the house. Yeah, no, honestly, I haven't had any of my group complain about not being able to see them because of how close we are.
And it should be pointed out, yeah, it's great to see it from the hills that surround the Wenatchee Valley. Being right here, right below them as they go off, you get that acoustic concussion that goes through your body.
Yeah.
And you're as close as you can get to them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to describe.
It is, it's hard to describe. Especially when that first one goes off and you go, okay.
Yes, yeah. So my first year out on the island, back before I was licensed, when I was a volunteer, because I started as a volunteer with this group, we had an effect that we call concussions. It's kind of an apt name, but it's just an effect that's sound. It doesn't actually create a pretty show in the air. But I was running the board for the first time that year, and I hit that first concussion, and just the impact of that one, it was like, and do the next one, and do the next one. And then, after the first couple, you're like, oh, okay, this is supposed to feel like this.
Is there anything new in the world of pyrotechnic fireworks, the professional stuff that you do? Do they bring in new kinds of things and they retire ones that aren't so popular anymore? How does that work?
Yes. So Roman candles are not our friend anymore because they catch fire so easily. You will have a hard time finding a professional show that continues to use Roman candles. Yeah, we use all kinds of different effects. Are constantly being made. They're manufactured all over the world. So China has actually stopped being a manufacturer for fireworks. They do not create anymore because of the high risk that it is in their warehouses. But Mexico is starting to be quite a large hub. We have some gentlemen in Iowa, and I think a gentleman in Wyoming that we get some product from. So all over the place.
Do fireworks have names? In other words, how do you know what any particular firework is going to do if you've never lit it off before?
So every firework has a description on it. And if you're the person building that firework, you know what it's going to do. But we get all of our products pre-done here. It's just safer, and we also don't have the time to build. But yeah, we have, all of my crew has a favorite effect. So we have, like, Devin, I think she loves the palm tree with crackling coconuts is what it's called. And it's just, whoever creates it can call it whatever they want, but it's a description. And we have comets, we have arcades, we have all kinds of different things. My favorite is so simple, but it's the bees. And it goes up and it just spurts, and then you've got little ones that just shoot in different directions after it breaks. And yeah.
How do you know you did a good job if you're a performer and you work at the New America Performing Arts Center when you're not here?
Yeah.
How do you mean, at the end of a good show, people stand up and applaud. It doesn't really work when you're out in the spit 300 yards from everybody.
Oh, it really does, though.
Does?
Yeah, okay. No, it sounds amazing because there's just a moment of silence at the end of the show, and then you actually hear the crowd. So it's that moment of like, and yes. Yeah, so it's kind of goosebumps, especially for my newer people that come out on the island because they don't know what to expect. Right. So, yeah.
We're almost out of time, so before I cut you loose, again, your crew is going to be doing the applesauce game on Monday, July 3rd, and then here at the park for the big day on Independence Day, which this year, by the way, falls on July 4th. For you fans who are really into the professional pyrotechnic show that you and your crew put on, what else you got going on down the hopper so they can check it out?
We are also doing an event in Crescent Bar on the 1st.
Okay. So split crew there.
Yes. So we'll have.
No. First, that's.
We still have
Friday.
To split the crew because some of them have to stay and keep working on the 4th.
I understand. So Crescent Bar on the 1st, Applesauce 3rd, here on the 4th.
Yeah, and then we all go back to our day jobs, and yeah, we at the Performing Arts Center we are doing the Hot August Nights production of Kinky Boots right now. So we're building that currently. So.
What do you do? I know this is stupid. This will be our last question. I'll cut you loose. Why do you do this? Why do you like to do this?
I like doing it because I I've been doing it so long, and I know the way my crew does it is safe. And it's such a good event for the community. It's such a wonderful thing for our valley to be able to do. You can see it from almost anywhere in the valley, so everyone gets to enjoy it. So
I've seen Kylie working with the crew. You keep them on the straight and narrow, don't you? Because you can't screw up. There's no margin for error here.
No, we have a lot of fun in what we do. That's why my volunteers keep coming back. But it's dangerous work. It's very serious work. But it's worth it.
It is worth it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, and have a good time on the 4th.
Yes.
And here's hoping your fire watchers have nothing to do.
Yes.
That's always our goal. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life Channel.
All right, getting ready to wrap up this program. Let's do some housekeeping first of all, shop talk, if you will. Obviously, no show tomorrow. We got the holiday off. I hope you do as well. But there'll be no Wake Up Wenatchee Valley show tomorrow for Independence Day. Also, no news. Everybody gets the day off tomorrow, and by golly, they deserve it. I'm glad to hear that as well. So yeah, no show tomorrow. Looking forward to that. I enjoy doing the show. I just enjoy having time off as well. Plus, Malcolm gets to sleep in. I'm sure he's liking that. And before we get to the weather forecast, one more little reminder. All the local mayoral candidates who have challenges, people running for either an open seat or more than one person running for the same mayoral job, we did a bunch of interviews with all of the local candidates whose names will appear on the primary ballot with the challenger, Mayor of Leavenworth, Mayor of Wenatchee, on down the line. And you're going to start seeing those interviews starting today. As a matter of fact, you can also see them by going to our website at ncwlife.com. Red flag warnings suck, but that's what we got. There's that big pink thing that you see there on your left. It looks like one of those ink blot tests that the psychiatrist makes you take. The strongest winds are going to be out in the Columbia Basin and right up near the Canadian border because those pressure gradients are going to tighten up. And of course, the Omak, Okanagan Valley, pretty narrow, and that means the wind can pick up in intensity quite a bit. So we have gusty winds, low relative humidity, and warm temperatures, and that is the recipe for a red flag warning. It begins at 10 o'clock this morning, goes till 11 o'clock tonight. Any fire that gets going is not good. Not good. Now, we're not going to see too much wind here in the Wenatchee Valley. That's the good news. But we need to keep an eye out on the haze. The high pressure ridge that is sitting over the top of us is actually centered right over Vancouver Island. And it's spinning around clockwise, so it's going to go way up and it's going to grab smoke from the fires in central British Columbia and central Alberta. And it's going to start sending some of that smoke down our way. Now, it's going to be high up in the atmosphere, but you're certainly going to notice it. It's going to get hazy. Smoke's not going to get down to us. It's not going to get down to the surface, but it's going to be floating around up there. And so we're going to have some hazy sunshine, especially tomorrow. So your forecast in detail later on today, the haze will start picking up a little bit. Not going to be too bad with a high of about 88 or 89 or so. A little breezy, but not too bad. 63 for the overnight low on Monday. For the holiday Tuesday, again, some widespread haze is possible. Will be about a degree warmer. And it's going to be very pleasant, I think, for the 4th of July fireworks, 65 for the overnight low on Tuesday night. Back to work on Wednesday. We start heating up, and I mean really heating up to near 100 by the end of the week. That's it for us. Happy birthday, America. We'll see you Wednesday. Bye-bye.